Ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, cats, kids, welcome back to the podcast. I'm just going to scroll down here a little bit, make sure my microphone is working. My microphone is working. I apologize. It's been a rough few days. I need a shave. I hope you can. I hope you guys can forgive this one. All right, going over to look at Shade again with the new Shade X or X Shade and the new borrow lend features, all the other good stuff that they have in there. I'm looking. I'm looking for anything out here right now, guys. Anything that's going to be even somewhat yield bearing. Bitcoin is nuts. It's absolutely nuts right now. There is so much that's working up against the crypto market right now. So anything that's paying out a decent yield, it becomes so exponentially more valuable. If I don't say when, if we come out of the out of the current situation. So yeah, they've been doing a lot of work over there. And I just thought, hey, let's go ahead and explore this a little bit. I'll give you my context. Not saying I'm right, just saying this is the way that I see it. And you know what? Go Juno. So piece of cake, app.shadeprotocol.io. You're off, you're in, you're running. So I always start over at the pools. It's just it's easier, very easy from. There's a cat. There goes a cat. She's going to walk right across my damn keyboard. I'm sorry, but you know what? I don't edit. So everyone, this is Indy. That's my cat. She lives right there on the corner of my desk. Okay, so two pools that are alive and screaming at me right now is this pool right here on top. That's wrapped Ethereum and USDC Noble at 99.8%. Color me skeptical. I'm always skeptical when I see these pools with these overly large APRs. It makes me question the why of it. So if they're gonna give it, if I'm gonna pair anything anymore, there's three big pairings that I'm always looking for. Whatever's good with Bitcoin, even though I don't love the action on it right now. Whatever's good with Ethereum, I don't love what's going on with Ethereum right now, but that's why it's important that I get the highest yield as I possibly can, because it helps. We're delta neutral, guys. That's what we're looking for here. And Jackal. That's my other one. And there's just that one pool over there that I absolutely adore, and it's actually that pool right there, and that's the USDC Noble Jackal pool over on Astrovault. And the only reason that one is so overly enticing to me is what happens in a traditional pool when one side goes up. So if you can answer that question, yay for you. But anyway, let's go ahead and get back to this. Now, I was a little bit curious, a little bit skeptical, a little bit everything around this, because we just went through this, guys. It was called Kajira. We just went through this. And do your own research out here seems to be finding the scam, finding out where you are going to get annihilated on whatever it is that you happen to be getting into. And I'm looking over here because there's so many similarities. Now, I'm not saying that they are the same product, because clearly they're not. And I'm going to show you one of the things that really, really stood out to me on this that was a little bit more than anyone else. Now, I like to loan. I do like to put my tokens to work, but they got to be put in there safely, man. I cannot have another Kajira on my hands. Like everybody that had all their USK and USDC and everything locked up, and then they were screwed. They couldn't get it out. Everyone got liquidated. There was no way they couldn't get it out. So I come over whenever I see these two little buttons right there, like lend borrow, and my radar immediately goes up. So let's take a look. Let's take a look over here. So the one thing that I do notice, as far as the on the lend collateral, is that the assets are really not what I would have expected over here. They're smart. Now, the one that's missing from here, which is absolutely critical, they cannot do this, and they didn't, is Shade. Shade is the native token for the. It's right there on top. Yeah, you see a little thing up there. Is that Shade? They're not putting their DEX token out for lending or borrowing. You cannot do that. Kajira did it. But Shade hopefully learned from that mistake and said, yeah, no, we cannot do this, because if you do it, that's how you rise and fall very, very fast, because you're putting in a token that you control, that you can manipulate, that you can do whatever with, and you can, you can skew numbers, you can show this tremendous growth where there isn't tremendous growth, and then the whole thing blows up, because this is crypto, and what we do over here real well is blow up. But I don't see it over here. So I think that's very, very important, that You don't. I don't know. I'm trying to be nice about this. I don't know if Carter's going to watch a video or whatever, but I'm trying to be nice about it. So you don't see it in the lend protocol and you don't see it in the borrow protocol. Now, what I do see a lot of, and what I'm seeing up on top, is actually what I consider fairly smart assets. USDC Noble, number one. That's one that you're going to want to always pay attention to. That's our lighthouse out here, is USDC Noble. Anything that is pegged to a dollar. I see that they have Silk over here. I would, for me personally, stick with USDC Noble because Silk has got a little bit of volatility to it, and you just don't want volatility in your stable tokens. That's a whole nother discussion. But yeah, seeing the Noble up there, that is fantastic. And then the Bitcoin and the wrapped Ethereum. And the only one, believe it or not, this is kind of funny to me. The only one that I have a lot of questions on why you would include this over here is Atom. Atom is the one that I would prefer not to see in a lend borrow platform in a protocol that's built on Cosmos, man. That's where we are now. But there's so much goddamn volatility in Atom that I would prefer not to see that. That's the one that I wouldn't want to see over there, but that is sure enough there. There it is. And it has a decent amount of liquidity provided, supplied to it over here, 56,000. 33,000 of it is out in rotation right now. But the one that you just got to be real careful with, if any of them, is going to be that one. So I'd say watch out for that. But you're going to be decently solid over here on the Bitcoin. You're going to be decently solid over there on the Ethereum. And yeah, they were smart. They did some smart. Some very smart things over here. I'm not saying it's foolproof. The one thing that I would like that would definitely get me hovering in, because they're incentivizing both lending and borrowing. See, that's weird. You don't see that. But they are incentivizing with Shade both lending and borrowing. Typically, you're going to see it on the lending side because they want to incentive. They need your liquidity. They need your money to come in here so that they can, loan it out, fees, all that other good stuff. But you don't see it on the borrow side. This is a little bit new to me, is the fact that you see a larger APY over on the borrow side than you do on the lend side. Now, I spent some time on this, and I really, I did figure out, do DYOR, do your own research, find out the hook. And I figured out what they're doing over here. I think it's smart. I think it is very smart. I'm not going to spill the beans. It's not my DEX. It's not mine a story to tell. But I did figure out what they're doing, because I'm going to look at this and say, how are they profitable? It would be virtually impossible to be incredibly profitable simply on transaction fees on your DEX. There's not enough people over here in the Cosmos, man. You will never generate enough meaningful volume to be able to move that needle. You just wouldn't, not on gas fees. So there's got to be something else, and you got to do your own research, and you got to sort it out. And I think it did. I think I got it. You know what? I'm not gonna put the story out, man. If you guys ask, put it in the comments. Do something like that. I'll certainly spill it, or maybe we'll talk about it on a live stream or something like that. But they're not doing anything wrong. That's the kicker. They're nothing wrong, nothing illegal, nothing sketchy. They're just doing something because they can do it on this particular protocol, and Kajira and all these other ones can't, because they don't have a privacy element. Now, if you think about what happens with lending, what happens with borrowing, and what happens with market makers, you're going to figure out real quick why it will work here, but it hasn't worked really anywhere else. So yeah, I'm just color me curious on this one. Just color me curious, and I'm going to go ahead and leave it right there. I'll come back with some how-tos if you guys would like. I'll come back with some how-tos step-by-step. This is why you lend. This is why you borrow. This is why you do all that. I just getting a feel to see if folks are actually interested in this over here. So anyway, that's it. Questions or comments, Scott at ThePodocasts.com. I answer any and all. And until next time, please stay safe. Please be smart with your money, guys. Cheers.